Welcome in, quick hitters. Welcome in, Goodymo short crew. Weary Wednesday, yes. Middle of the week, we are here. We don't get into the playoff schedule, but I wanted to address something that I haven't been able to address. Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 2, that defense. My goodness. And just like everybody else talking about this defense, saying it's the greatest they ever seen, best they've watched in decades, in years. One thing, they are correct. When I was watching that game live, my goodness, man. I'm going to tell you, I didn't think this type of defense existed in the NBA any longer. I was excited. I was moved. I was intrigued. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I haven't seen anything like that, if ever, in decades. I didn't think it was allowed. The Minnesota Timberwolves, that was a masterpiece. That was a masterpiece, original recipe. That's what that was. They shut down the Denver Nuggets offense completely from jump ball. They were all over them like a pack of wolves. Literally like a pack of wolves. Every time they put the ball on the ground, they had to pick it up. They had constant pressure in their face the whole entire game. It was a beauty to watch a team play that type of defense in the NBA. Don't you know that's been my argument pretty much a long time watching the NBA? Is teams not taking defense seriously. Players not taking defense seriously. You always have the Olay defense. People don't want to be embarrassed. They just play just enough shadow defense just to say they were there. They put a hand up. Guy still hits the shot. It's not constant pressure. Players able to get to where they want to get to on the floor. It frustrated me for years. That defense right there, man, I was a kid in a candy store. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm still kind of excited about it. Talk about length. Talk about agitation. Talk about active hands. Talk about moving your feet. Talk about making people feel uncomfortable. This was going on the whole entire game. We're talking about the NBA champs here. Denver Nuggets and the Young Bucks and the Timberwolves getting a first taste of real action NBA playoffs. Like I say, I don't know who their defensive coordinator is, who inspired this type of defense, or they took it upon themselves. What was the game plan, the strategies? But man, that was a clinic. That was a clinic. It inspired me. I'm telling you, man. I haven't seen this in the NBA, this type of defense. I haven't seen a defense like this since I've been covering or watching, been a fan of. But you know what? I'm gonna take that back, and it still beats it. Last time I seen defense even close to this, obviously, would be the Chicago Bulls. Back in their heyday with Dennis Rodman and all those fellas winning those championships. That's the only thing I can come close to it. Because I was watching the Bulls very heavy back in that time. And they had some outstanding defense that made you feel uncomfortable. They got up in you. But this right here, for 48 minutes, I never seen the Joker looked so uncomfortable. The whole team was frustrated. It's like they forgot how to play basketball. They forgot how to dribble the ball, pass the ball. These are the champs, remember that. These are the champs. And they look like a Pee Wee League team out there. Jamal Murray, frustrated obviously throughout the game. He think he should be getting calls. Every time he was dribbling the ball, it was one clip. I wish I could find it. But it literally looked like two wild dogs fighting over some raw meat when he had the ball. dribbling it and picked it up. They were all over him. I'm talking about active hands swatting at the ball. He's just moving around trying to, it's like he was covered. He putting his hands in the air looking for calls. No, they're not going to bail you out. See, when you play that type of defense in the NBA specifically, teams ain't used to that at all. They're not used to that kind of defense. You surprise them with something like that, they ain't ready for that. Then you start looking at them, wandering around, looking for calls, looking for the refs now. They want to be bailed out. They figure they so good at their execution and scoring points all the time. There ain't nobody can ruffle us up like that. No, they have to be following us. They got to be doing something illegal. No, ain't no time to whine now. These young bucks are here, and I'm telling you, man, this defense, if they can duplicate this throughout the playoffs, it'll be too much to ask. It'd be way too much to ask. But who can beat them with inspired defense like this? Nobody. They got the roster. They got the depth to do it. They got the players, like I said, the length. They got the youth. Guys that are hungry. Because they literally look like wolves out there. Denver Nuggets. I never even thought of or imagined that y'all could get swept. Never thought of it. Somebody told me that going into this series. I say, you are crazy. Hey, set your price. Set your price. That's what I would have said. But now, that's not far-fetched. Not far-fetched at all. It all gonna come down to Game 3, obviously, where you're really gonna decide if this is gonna be a sweep or not.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text
Let me cut this off because this thing will just keep going off. Turn these alerts off real quick. Bear with me. But they're not at home anymore. They're going to Minnesota. If they play that well and that type of defense on the road, you can only imagine what they're going to do at home. And listening to Anthony Edwards, he's talking about he ain't taking the foot off the gas pedal. He said they punch, we punch back too. The team has took on his identity. The guy is vicious. He started off in that game not even being that aggressive. Probably missed a couple of shots here and there, but when you got everybody rolling and the offense is crisp, ball movement, everybody getting the shots they want, everybody taking a conscious effort to stay aggressive. Like I say, man, it was a masterpiece. Original recipe, all the way down to the bone. Do you hear me? I never seen it like this before. And it's shocking. It is shocking. Wherever they turned, they were right there. Wherever they looked, they were right in front of them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And it's going to take a lot of energy. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice, like it did in that game, to continue this. If they're able to continue this, that was total embarrassment. It was. For a champion to go in that game that way. Not saying they weren't well prepared. Wasn't saying they wouldn't, they got out coached. I'm not saying anything like that. But I will tell you this, they did not expect no defense like this. No. They didn't expect that. That was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I got to stop talking about it because I can talk about this defense all day long. It was a beauty to watch. Like I said, my argument has always been in the league that players don't play defense enough. They don't take pride into playing defense. They don't take it as a personal battle to stop the man right across from you. It's like it's a lost art now. It's about just let you cook. let you get your groove on. I'll put a hand there. I'll play their shadow defense, but nothing too aggressive. And of course, the league rules don't allow you to play that aggressive. But I tell you what, in the playoffs, you can get away with a little more than a regular season. But even then, in the past, we didn't see no defense like this. Not close. Masterpiece, original recipe. Nobody in the world can play defense like this when they're that in tune and intrigued. We're going to breeze through the scoreboard for the past couple of nights. Won't take it too long. It is Weary Wednesday. I know it's hump day. You got to go get it. Well, my. It was outstanding, man. It was outstanding. But let's check out this first game. Cleveland Cavaliers and the Boston Celtics. Blowout. What's up with these blowouts in playoffs? There's a lot of blowouts in these playoffs this year. Don't know what the deal is with it, but teams are getting blown out. Boston won that game very easily. Another game that Jason Tatum really didn't shoot it off the charts. Played well, but he didn't shoot it well. But Jaylen Brown, some people starting to say now, what's going on here? Jaylen Brown, the number one guy? He's been hiding all these years. Are they looking at the number one guy in Tatum the wrong way? Is that a mistake? Look like Brown is the bulldog here. I wouldn't go too far. I'm thinking his mentality is a lot stronger than Tatum's, but Tatum, I think he's got the more length and the more talent to rally his team and to make things happen more. But Donovan Mitchell, he played a hell of a game. He was trying his best to pull this win out for his team. But we'll take it at the top. We got Evan Mobley. He got 17 points, 13 rebounds is his highlight, 8 for 12 from the field. Pretty good game by him. We have to give him a round of applause. Toro, next guy in line, 11 points. Pretty much singled out on everything else. I won't say he done his job, but you know what? We'll give him a round of applause. He got double digits. He added to the fray. He didn't just fall off the planet Earth. He did pitch in. Anytime you get double digits as a role player or somebody just coming off the bench, plugging in, you contributed, and you can at least get a round of applause off of that. Garland, supposed to be partner in crime, and was looked at before Mitchell got there as the guy for this team. A lot of injuries with him. Luckily, he's back and trying to stay healthy. They really need him in the playoffs. He didn't shoot too well from the field, at least from the three-point line. He was 6 for 15 from the field. 14 points. He had 5 assists. Garland's got to come with it. He could do better than these numbers here. We're going to give him an iron unkind. When you're looked at as the guy or the guy next to the guy, you have to put up better numbers than this. You at least got to get 25 to 30, especially if you got Mitchell putting all his effort in, 33 points, trying to lead this team to victory. He has to have a backup man, and Garland should be his backup man. So being off is another thing, but not unloading the clip is another. And 15 attempts is not enough for you to just say you're off and you just don't have it that game. I expect you to put more shots up. If not, grab more rebounds. Do something else that's going to help your team out to win this ball game. You didn't do that. Because the only thing that stands out is the 5 assists from the 14 points. That's the only other thing that stands out. So Garland, you have to get it together. And the main man who put all his effort into this game, trying to rally this team, a new team he joined, which you know Mitchell wants to win a championship. You know Mitchell wants to be in the hunt every year. And ain't no guarantee that he's just going to stay with this team for the rest of his career. I mean, he's trying to advance. And if Cleveland can't do that for him, then he's going to go elsewhere. It's just plain and simple. But he had 33 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. 5 of 5 from the free throw line. He didn't get there as much often as he usually does. 4 for 11 from the three-point line, 12 for 25 from the field. He definitely will get a star. Didn't get backed up too much, but, you know, he had some guys in double figures in the teams. But like I say, if he's going to score 33, he need another guy at least 25, 30 right behind him. That could have been Garland. But he was basically a no-show. He couldn't get it rolling. So that's bad on their part. And then when you look down at the bench, not getting too much there. It's like mostly starters, but not getting too much there. Let's go down here and look at these Celtics. But like I was saying here, Jason Tatum, 18 points, 5 assists, 11 rebounds, right? Oh, I skipped over 3 blocks. Have to throw that in. Couldn't hit a three-pointer. He's over 5 from 3. 7 for 9 from the field. So he was off on his shooting, but great players. And trust me, if you don't think he's a great player, just give it some more time. You'll see. He will go down as a great for the Boston Celtics, no doubt about that. But what I want to say what great players do is when they don't have a good shooting night, they do it elsewhere. Look at the blocks. 5 assists, 11 rebounds. It just don't stop there, all because you can't make a shot. And that's what Garland should have been doing. If you're a little off, get in there and grab some more rebounds. Get some steals. Try to block some shots. Pass the ball a little more. Get your teammates involved. Be a hype man. Do something instead of just shooting the ball and missing. Just a thought. Just a thought. Oh, should I call him out? We already know what this guy does. I'm not going to call him out because he's not even in double figures, but we know what this guy brings. I ain't going to mention him. But you go down here and you look at Jrue Holiday, right? He's got 14 points. He has 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 for 7 from the three-point line, 6 to 14. He went all on himself. He kind of was spotted around, and he had one of those cookie-cutter games. We'll give him a round of applause for his effort, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go back to Tatum as well. We're going to give him a round of applause. We're not going to give him a superstar. We will give him a round of applause. He did do his job. Winning the game with what he's done, that's doing your job. Now, if they would have lost this game, he'd have had an iron and a kind, no doubt about that. I don't care about the 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 18 points, and then your team lose and you didn't get them over the hump and they need scoring from you. Oh, yeah, you would have been iron unkind, no questions asked. But your guy, your partner in crime, bailed you out because he had a hell of a game. But we'll get to him in a minute. So, yeah, Jrue Holiday will get a round of applause, and Jason Tatum will get a round of applause as well. Let's go down here to this guy right here, Derek White. I can't say enough about this guy. This guy's going to be into a lot of money. Do you hear me? This guy here, who wouldn't want this guy on their team? Who wouldn't want him? He's more than a role player. This boy's hunting out his own shots. 25 points. See, this is what I mean by committee. This is what I mean by helping your guy out that's next to you. Donovan Mitchell didn't have that. They did. And then you wonder why it's a blowout, 120 to 95. Better supporting cast. But yeah, Derek White, I'm going to give you a round of applause. I can't give you a superstar because we got to save that for the other guy. Nah, you know what? The way you've been playing lately, it's hard to just give you a round of applause when you put 25 big ones out there with 5 assists, right? And you went 7 for 12 from the three-point line, 9 for 16 from the field. That deserves more than just a round of applause. Don't y'all think, quick hitters? That deserves more than a round of applause. And who say you can't give out 2 stars anyway? Huh? And they get that man a star. Get that man a star. Now check out the Jaylen Brown. 32 points, right? 6 rebounds. He wasn't passing too much. He got a block. 4 for 6 from the three-point line, 12 for 18 from the field. See, when you got everything cooking, see, we're not going to look at the attempts. His percentage was marvelous. Marvelous. But when everybody's got it rolling, y'all feeling good, y'all blowing this team out of the water, why force the action? You're efficient. When you put it up, majority of the time it's falling. No, ain't no need to rush anything. Y'all are cooking, everybody's feeling good. Don't matter if Jason Tatum is off. None of that matters. And that's why this team is dangerous. Because if Tatum don't have to have an outstanding game and you're still blowing teams out in the playoffs, I'm going to make one prediction. Not really a prediction, but I'm going to tell you what I want to see and what I think will be a hell of a finals. So it's kind of like a prediction. I think it's going to be a Timberwolves and a Boston Celtics finals. What do y'all think about that? Huh? Timberwolves and Celtics in the finals. Wouldn't that be an outstanding finals? Think about it. 2 teams that ain't too far. They got veterans on their team. They're not like old teams, but man, can you imagine the excitement in that series if that was to happen? And it's not far-fetched. That could actually happen. That could actually happen. And you're talking about new blood in the finals. When last time you had a matchup, I don't want to say thrown off that kind of awkward, but who expected the Timberwolves to be in the finals at the beginning of the season? Nobody. You could say the Boston Celtics, yeah. But my goodness, that would be a finals. So we're going to see if that's going to happen, but that's my prediction. Timberwolves, Celtics in the finals. Write it down and book it. Write it down and book it. But yes, Jaylen Brown gets a star as well. And that pretty much seals it up for them. So Cleveland's going to come back in. They got to re-strategize. They got to do everything all over. Bottom line is he's got to have more help, which is Donovan Mitchell. Garland's got to come in now. You have one off. You got to get on in this game. Game 2, you got to get on. There's got to be a new scheme. Y'all have to run these players off the three-point line. You got one guy with 7 threes, man. You got to find a way to make him put the ball on the floor. He's been shooting it out of his mind here lately. Let's see him drive a little bit more. So running people off the three-point line, not giving up the 3 so easily. Doing your blitzes with Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. Don't think Jason Tatum's going to do this every game. He ain't going to be off every game. Now, he can do his rebounding, all the dirty work. That can come like clockwork. But if he gets that shot going, it could be another blowout. So y'all have to look at that, and y'all got to strategize. I don't think this team is going to have I don't want to say a chance in hell to beat the Boston Celtics, but if you ain't got Jared Allen out there, I don't know how long he's going to be out clogging that middle, but he would help. Hell of a screener, hell of a defender, hell of a rebounder. You know, just to got to clog that paint up, give those guys something to think about when they're driving to the hole. Without him in that lineup, obviously don't have a chance of winning this series at all. But they could battle him strong if he was out there. So we kind of already know where this series is going to go and who's going to win it. So all they can do is put up a good fight and not get swept. So let's go ahead and check out this other one here, what we got. Dallas Mavericks and the Oklahoma City Thunder, another blowout. They come in like clockwork. I don't know what it is, man. Either you have it or you don't. And they getting y'all out of the water. But OKC, man, these guys are just as hungry as these Timberwolves. Just as hungry. And if they able to meet, man, woo-wee. Like I say, these playoffs this year is all booked up what it's supposed to be. This playoffs right here. And Lou Doncic, he had an off night. Obviously, you can see that on the box sheet. Usually when Lou Doncic has an off night, he usually comes back in vengeance. So I'll be looking out for that if I'm OKC, but will it be enough? If it's just Lou Doncic going off, it's not going to be enough. He's going to have a lot of other people pitching in. Kyrie Irving, he didn't have a typical game he usually have. I'm not saying he was off. He should have had a little more volume, especially in a blowout game like this. And usually you don't have to ask Kyrie Irving, Uncle Drew, to shoot more. You just never have to ask him that. But for some reason, he wasn't able to get the attempts up at a high volume. So I don't know what the deal happened there. He had 20 points. That's the highlight. I'm not going to call out his little singles, but, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. I don't know. Lou Doncic, 19. He had 9 assists, 6 rebounds. He was off on the free throw, 6 for 10 from the free throw line, 1 for 8 from the three-point line, 6 for 19 from the field. Just off. And credit to Oklahoma City Thunder's defense. I won't just say they're just off. They were running around there a little frantic too. They were energized. They was ready for this game. But unfortunately, we got to give Lou Doncic an iron unkind. He didn't show up for that game. Plain and simple. He just didn't show up. And Kyrie Irving, let me give him a round of applause. Because if he didn't even do this, where would they have been? They would be completely humiliated if he didn't score 20 points. Gafford gets a round of applause. 16 points, 11 rebounds, 6 for 8 from the free throw line for a big man, 5 for 12 from the field. He's there for defense, rebounding. Any big points he can add. Look, the biggest stat of all from him, I almost skipped over it. 5 blocks. 5 big blocks. Especially that one he stretched up very long, got off that glass. It's a long guy. But for them to get back in this series, Lou Doncic will have to trust his teammates a little more. That's been talked about. He can be heavy on offense, but still, he has to continue to want to come off that ball, trust other teammates. Kyrie Irving will have to pick it up a little more. We need him at 25-30 a night. 25-30 a night with Lou Doncic being the wild card where he comes in, give you 40 or 50 any given night. That's how that's going to work. And all the role players, they just pitch in where they can. Whether they get double figures or they just doing complete dirty work. But you got to get steals, you got to get rebounds, you got to play some defense. You got to disrupt some people. And if Dallas is not doing that, this series could get away from them very quickly if they don't watch it. Very quickly. And then the health of Lou Doncic. As it gets dragged out longer and longer, how is his health? So you got to look into that. It don't look like the bench did too much either. And like I say, it's the playoffs. The bench is not going to get too much. They're not trusting them too much. Only certain teams will go 8 deep or something like that. But when you do get a chance, you want to try your best to put numbers up. It ain't got nothing to do with scoring. Scoring will be nice, but you got to find ways to affect the game in the playoffs. Can't just be out there, just being a body. You got to find some way to shut somebody down, get some steals, something. Bring energy. So that series is going to be interesting. But OKC gave them all the business in that game 1. So it's going to be interesting to see how game 2 is going to turn out. But matter of fact, let's go take a quick peek at these guys down here. They done won the game. Holmgren, what can you say about this guy? 19 points. You know, he had 3 blocks, 2 steals, 7 rebounds, 2 for 5 for the 3-point line, 8 for 16 from the field. Good game by him. Give him a round of applause. Good game by him. Williams, that's the guy I was thinking about. This guy here is all-star material. No doubt about it. When you got guys like that on a team that you just plug in and they just make things happen outside of your stars, give you that lift, give you that punch, that means the world. Do you know how much pressure that takes off of SGA or Holmgren? Even though Holmgren's considered a rookie, I mean, he's not going to have too much pressure into winning in the playoffs like, probably SGA. He's looking at the guy, the MVP, supposed to carry his team. But when you have other guys on your team willing to step up, take that pressure off of you scoring-wise, it means the world to him. Because we know he can cook. He's going to cook all day long. He had 29 points. But before we go down there, we give Holmgren a round of applause. We give Williams a round of applause. SGA going to get a star with his performance. 29, almost a triple-double. 29 points, 9 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks. 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Very aggressive. Anytime you get to the free throw line in double digits, especially when you're getting over 10 to 13, what can you say? 8 for 19 from the field, and that's the funny thing about it. Look at that 8 for 19 from the field right here. Ain't nothing sexy about this. Nothing sexy about that. But when you get right here, that cleans that all up. Don't matter how off you are from the field when you get to the free throw line this many times. You see, there's always exceptions to the rule. Always. And with a guy like this, that when you're off like that, but you find ways to get to the free throw line to get your numbers, and you're still rebounding the ball, passing the ball, blocking the ball, with your plus 21, it's winning basketball, man. It's winning basketball. That's finding a way when your shooting is off. That's all we ask from these guys. Find another way when your shooting is off. Do not be a one-trick pony. It's simple. It's real simple. Get active. Get involved. I guess I'll call this guy out. He's not in double digits, but his defense was outstanding. I'm just going to say he was a thorn in their behinds that whole night. He was on Lou Dort, giving him a little bit of fits. But Dort, good defense though, Very good defense. He's a disruptor. Any points he gets is a bonus. We all know that. Right? So yeah, the Dallas Mavericks fall to the Oklahoma City Thunder 117-95. They got to be very careful. They have to strategize, come with a different plan. Like I said, it ain't no law to double team. You can send blitzes. A lot of these teams like to have too much pride. No, take away their best player. Take him away. Should be a new formula now. The Timberwolves, they just opened up the potion. There should be a new formula for these teams. Now, everybody don't have the personnel to get it done, but the energy, that shouldn't be a problem. But once again, that was a clinic. That was a clinic. So that was a little quick assessment, I would say, on this weary Wednesday. Real quick, but the main focus for me to come in and talk about that Timberwolves defense, Because like I said, I haven't seen it in decades, if ever. Still inspired by it. We'll see if they can repeat that. I don't think they have to play that kind of defense to win every game, but it's fun to watch, and it's showing a lot of these teams in this league, man, hey, it can be done. Take pride in stopping people, because that was great individual defense. That was great team defense. Everybody was on a string accord. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody was on the string, on the same accord. One piece move here, the other one slides over. One drops back, the other one moves up. I mean, they were all on, they jumping balls, they cutting people off on dribble drive. Everything was happening. Everything. They were turning the ball over just by pressure. Everything. It almost looked like it was unforced, but it was forced because they weren't used to that intensity. They were throwing the ball where nobody was at, just going out of bounds. You had the champs whining to the referees. Think about that. They were whining to the referees. I've seen Joker do it, and definitely seen Jamal Murray do it. He was almost like a kid on aisle 7, couldn't get his Skittles. He dropped to the ground, patting the ground, stomping his feet, because he couldn't get his Skittles. Throwing stuff all over the floor. That's what a defense can do to you when it's like that. The Wolf Pack. They were hungry, they were starved, and they found their raw meat, and that raw meat was the Denver Nuggets. So, game 3, back in Minnesota, could be finishing the deal. Because obviously if they win that game, turn out the lights, the party's over.
Oh, that's not good.
Exactly what it will be. So, y'all enjoy yourselves. Weary Wednesday once again. Goodymo Sports Quick Hits. Thanks for y'all time. Like always, hit the like button. You like the video. And until next time, tune in tonight for sure. Playoffs still rolling. Tune in tonight. I think we only got one game on the queue tonight. Enjoy that. But man, woo! Wolfpack defense, man. Wolfpack defense. Y'all enjoy yourselves. We out of here. Peace.